Hey, welcome to the inaugural version of Yoshida Eats, where I'm testing out the software and learning how to work it. Today I'm going to show you how to make gyoza. On this list of ingredients, I am missing a half pound of pork, ground pork, and a half pound of ground beef. That's been omitted from that ingredient list. Alright, anyhow, we're going to start off with a large head of napa cabbage. We're going to quarter it. The reason we're using napa cabbage is because it has a mild flavor and it's not going to impart too much of that cabbage flavor into the pot sticker itself. We're really using it as a filler to keep the meat soft and to add volume to the pot sticker and filling. I don't like to waste those extra leaves, so I always do a chiffonade cut with them. I roll them up and then I cut them into thin ribbons. If you notice while I'm cutting, my fingertips are rolled back and the knife is sliding along between that first and second knuckle on my fingers. The reason for this is that I won't get cut this way. Also notice that my finger is on top of the backbone of the knife, which is an incorrect way to hold it. But I cooked for 20 years before someone told me that I was doing it wrong, and now it's really hard to change. But I'm working on it. Anyhow, you want to take the rest of the quarters of napa, and you want to slice those thin also. Remember, we're using these for a filling, so we want really small pieces. We don't want big chunks. As you work your way to the end, we want to remove the core. So just slice it off. And then we can still use those white pieces, those thick white pieces, because like I said before, we're using this as a filling. So as long as we're cutting those small, it's fine to use. And don't try to cut fast, cut safely. Here it was getting a little bit hard to hold, so I'm taking it apart, and I'm just grabbing a few pieces at a time so I can cut safely. I don't like wearing band-aids. All right, I'm going to cut the rest up, thin slices. So see how they're all nice and small pieces, thin pieces. So I'm going to gather it up. I'm going to put all 4 quarters into a bowl. And now I'm going to take about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. It's not really for the flavoring, although I'm not going to rinse it, so it does flavor a little bit. But I really want to draw the water out of here. As I said before, we're using this for a filling, and we don't want an excess amount of water in the cabbage. So we're going to use the salt to draw out some of that water. If you notice here, as I slow down the video, I'm crushing the cabbage as I go too. I really want to bruise it to also help draw out that water. So I'm not just mixing it, but I'm also kind of crunching it and smashing it. Okay, we're almost done. I'm going to show you we can squeeze water out of it already. But we probably want to wait a little bit, 30 to 40 minutes, to get all that water out. I'm going to put a plate over it, and I'm going to put a gallon of water on top of this, a gallon water jug. It's about 8 pounds. And I'm going to let it sit for about 30 to 40 minutes. And then I'm going to come back. I'm going to remove the plate, if I can. I have a little trouble here. And I'm going to squeeze out the napa cabbage. So as you can see here, I'm squeezing pretty hard because I want to remove as much water as possible. So that water in the bottom, we got rid of all of that water. We don't want the excess water because it would steam when we cook the pot stickers, and that would turn the wrapper into mush, or it might come apart too. While that napa was resting and letting the salt soak into it, I prepped the rest of the ingredients. And here what I did is I lightly tapped a clove of garlic so I can peel the skin off easier. If I was going to slice it, I wouldn't do that. I would peel it by hand. But here I'm crushing it to make it a little easier, and then I'm going to rough chop it. I've also got some of that garlic I prepared earlier for a different demonstration, so I'm going to rough chop that as well. It takes 8 cloves of garlic in this recipe. Here I am using salt again, but this time I'm not seasoning and I'm not trying to draw out the water. This time the salt's being used for an abrasive. So instead of dicing it until it's tiny and small, I'm going to mince it this way. I'm going to swish it. And that salt, the abrasiveness of the salt helps crush the garlic. There you go. Next up is green onions. It's 2 bunches. That's too much, really. But you're going to trim the edges off. I ended up using about 1.5 bunches for this recipe, so I needed more than 1 bunch, but not quite 2. And again, see how my hands are safely out of the way? My fingertips are pulled back. I'm pressing down with my fingertips, and the knife is sliding on my knuckles. What I'm doing here is I'm trimming down to the whites of the onions, and I'm going to reuse those onions. I'm actually going to put them in water and wait a couple weeks, and they'll regrow. I always do this because you get a second use out of most of the onions. Okay, the onions go into a bowl, and now we're going to mix our liquid ingredients, or prepare our liquid ingredients. It's really just a matter of measuring soy sauce and sesame seed oil. It takes 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. I use Yamasa brand because it's a little less salty than Kikkoman, and you still get the full umami flavor. The sesame oil is dark roasted sesame oil. And we're going to use 3 teaspoons of the sesame oil. If I was smart, I would have realized that 3 teaspoons is a tablespoon and just measured once. Here we have the ground pork on the left and the ground beef on the right, roughly a ½ pound, and our mise en place. You're just going to grab all those ingredients and combine them. You need to really get in there and smush it and combine everything and mix it really well. And that's what it should look like. Now we're going to wrap. We're going to stuff the wrappers with the mixture. So there's the wrappers. I like to use the round ones because they make that traditional gyoza shape. I'm using about a teaspoon of filling, a rounded teaspoon. I'm going to dip my finger in the water and moisten the edges of the wrapper. This is how it sticks together. Fold it over, and I'm going to make pleats. I'm going to pull over that piece and fold it down. With my thumb, there you go. Pull over, crimp. Pull over and crimp. I'm going to do the same thing in the other direction, same side. The reason I want to keep doing it on that same side is because it pulls that one side over and creates that traditional half moon shape. There you go. Gyoza. Alright, I'm going to make a few more because you don't want to cook just one. Alright, I've got the pan preheating over medium heat. You always want to have the pan waiting for you, not you waiting for the pan. I'm using sesame seed oil in here, but you can use canola oil, vegetable oil, corn oil, any light tasting thing. You want to stay away from olive oil because it imparts flavor. Sesame seed oil imparts flavor as well, but we've also got sesame oil in there as part of the ingredient, so it'll add to the flavor if anything. I've got my stove set on like a medium high, It's on 7. You want to brown the bottoms. Here, take a look. Here, I'll show you again. I'm going to roll them onto their side now because the browning's mostly for presentation. The frying part isn't cooking it really, but it's just browning the one side for the presentation. Now I'm going to put that container of water in there. It's not the same one I use for my finger. But first I'm going to grab the lid because I want to shield myself from the splatter. So the whole thing goes in. It's about a 1/4 cup of water. If you've got a glass lid like this, it's great because you can see how much water is cooked off. If you don't have a glass lid, it still works. You just have to listen. So instead of working with your eyes, you got to listen with your ears. And you'll hear the difference in the sound as it's sizzling. It's getting towards the end here. What I'm doing is I notice the water pooled on one side, so I'm kind of dispersing the water so it evaporates faster. Be about 10 more seconds. Grab the plate. And here I'm going to take out the lid. Always take the lid off away from you so you don't get burned by the steam. Remember to turn off the stove. And I'm going to shake the pot stickers loose. And so now I'm just going to slide them off into my plate. And there you have it. Gyoza, or Japanese pot stickers.